Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's weekly Wednesday Facebook class with Business Resource Partners. I am Mason Reed, and I happen to be the IT department for Business Resource Partners. As you all know, we are getting ready to start having taxes submitted and filing for your tax returns. And as always, every year, there are many scams going around trying to steal your refund. And this year in particular, there's a new scam that is actually taking advantage of your online banking software, your tax preparer software, and just other IT ways of taking your refund. So let's get into that. First thing we have here, if I can actually get it to show the right window I need. Well, the first thing we're going to look at, here we go, is the IRS scam. This new scam is identity thieves are taking advantage of your tax preparation software and hacking that and sending a refund to your bank. At that point, they call you and say that the refund you received was incorrect and you need to send it back to them. Now, the reason this particular scam is so dangerous is because you are actually returning the money to the scammers. The money is also actually coming from the IRS. So what happens is you get the money, someone claiming to be from the IRS calls you, and then they say, hey, you need to send us the money. So not wanting to break the law or risk any of the other things that come along with getting an accidental refund, you might send it to them. And when you send it to these scammers, then the IRS finds out, hey, this person got a refund they weren't supposed to get, and then they pull the same money back. So essentially you end up losing double the money. And because you are a participant in it, it's a lot harder to recover from. So one of the first steps you can do to protect yourself from this is if you receive a refund that you know you haven't filed for or is more than what you filed for, contact the IRS. Call their customer support. I know it's not the most ideal means of solving problems and protecting yourself, especially since getting a hold of the IRS and their support is such a difficult task, but it's better than the risk of losing thousands of dollars in fake refunds, and then the identity theft that goes along with it. The other thing to keep an eye out for is sometimes these hackers will actually hack your online banking apps and transfer it that way. So you need to make sure to always be updating all your apps, all your tax preparing software, changing your passwords on a regular basis to something not necessarily so complicated that you can't remember it, but more complicated than your first name, last name, and your pet's name. The last thing to keep in mind with this is these hackers are actually putting serious effort into this particular scam. They've managed to create fake websites. They've managed to create fake employee profiles to come after you in particular to make you feel like you are actually at risk of something serious. But once again, the easiest way to protect yourself is the IRS will never call you. The IRS does not pass your debt or your bad refund off to a collection agency. They will only send you a certified letter in the mail, and then you will have to call them. Let's see. That's about all to cover on this particular topic. Let's see. Oh, apparently another thing here to look at is they will potentially send you a transaction error correction letter. So worst comes to worst, always contact the IRS to protect yourself and your identity. According to this, February 2nd, 2018, the IRS issued a warning about increased attacks, and then on the 13th, they mentioned that the phony refunds and tax preparation software as a growing scam. So that's something to always keep in mind. Let's move on to the next topic I feel that we should cover today. So cryptocurrency is becoming a major way for people that don't necessarily trust paper cash or the banks to hold on to money. Recently, there's been a string of hacks to take advantage of websites, computers, ad software, targeting based off of this article. Tesla's servers were hacked. YouTube ads have been hacked. Several of Google's ad sources have been hacked. It's just something to keep in mind. If you have your own website, you need to update your website as well to provide security, because what you need to mine cryptocurrency is a lot of computing power and a lot of electricity. Theoretically, with this crypto mining, you could be doubling, tripling your electric bill, because they run your computer at full speed, at full power, for as long as they have control of the website or the server or your computer. Now, this particular scam is taking advantage of the cryptocurrency called Monero. Monero also offers the software to mine their currency that you can install into your website or into your server to take advantage of something you already have. But what hackers are doing is they're taking this software and using it for illicit gains. This particular hack to Tesla occurred on January 30th of this year. But as always, make sure you're constantly keeping your website and your computers and your information up to date and as secure as possible, because you don't want to run into these hacks where they're basically taking all your computing power and making it so you can't function on a day-to-day business and be making money for themselves. Let's see. At this time, I will open it up to some questions about your any IT questions, about any potential scam questions about cryptocurrency, or anything you might possibly feel the need to talk about. This time. Let's make sure I spelled that right before we put that on the. So if anybody has any questions they want to ask about the newest IRS scam, about any of the hacks, quick update on Meltdown Inspector, a couple of vulnerabilities that were in just about every system that has a computer chip, processing chip. Intel has released new patches for the Spectre vulnerability that should be hopefully correcting the issue without completely overwhelming your system. Some of the more recent updates they have released for both Spectre and Meltdown made it so the computer had to stop basically processing things as fast as they used to in order to provide the safety and security that you might need to not be affected by both of these vulnerabilities. but who wants to be protected from the vulnerabilities at the risk of not being able to use your computer, which was essentially what was happening with these updates. But like I said, Intel's most recent update, they're claiming to be able to protect your computer without necessarily running the risk of a complete computer shutdown, just trying to update your software. I think I have a question. It says I have a comment, but I can't see it. Let me see if I can find it. I do see the like from Savannah McCarthy. Thank you for the like. The support is always appreciated. I'm not actually seeing this comment. Let me see what I can do here. Well, I don't see any questions at this point. So,